Hello, everyone. This is Will.
Oh my god. This is Alex.
Welcome back to another episode of They Mostly Come at Night.
Mostly.
Real quick before we get into this episode, sorry, we gotta get the equals out.
Yes.
We'll explain. Before we get into the episode, go to all your podcasting sources, any platform you use. I think we're on every single one. If we're not, then we gotta figure that out. But
Yeah,
still,
let us know. Let us know if we're not.
yeah, if you find us somewhere and we're not on your favorite podcasting site, we're on a lot of them, so we probably are. But if we aren't, let us know. We'll get on that. But anyway, yeah, go to there, like, comment, subscribe, whatever you do, follow. Just really supports the podcast. We appreciate it, and we appreciate you.
Yeah.
And we appreciate you so much that we decided that today we were going to be doing another request.
Well, because see, it is for next week we are gonna do a bit of a Christmas special. So to kind of, I guess, make that possible,
Yes.
we are doing our request-a-rooney for this episode, and one of you lucky listeners got to have us watch Forbidden World.
Listen, whoever suggested this, I can't remember who it was exactly at the moment, top of my head.
Thank you.
Thank you, because man, I needed a laugh tonight.
Oh, I mean, there is a scene, and we'll get to it, that actually Will can attest to this.
It almost killed Alex.
It broke me.
It literally, I almost saw Alex die.
I was in pain from laughing.
He was laughing so hard. I'm pretty sure he couldn't breathe for a second.
I was in pain. I have the ab workout of the year thanks to a scene in this movie.
He literally became an ROFL. He literally embodied it. He literally rolled on the floor laughing. I've never seen that in my life. So kudos to whoever suggested this one, because
kudos to who suggested this.
Holy shit, we have it. We finally after a year or maybe two of trying to find a fucking scene that even comes close to the absurdity of you and your evil. We finally found one.
The other movie I remember that came close, and it was funny because it was a movie that we actually liked quite a bit. It was that movie Prey. But there's that part where they fall into the lake or whatever.
Yes. Yeah. Okay.
And
yeah.
it turns
right.
slow-mo as they're all
That came close.
But not quite.
This literally had the scene that put us in the grave. It was so funny. I was fucking dying. It was you have to see the scene for yourself. So before we get into the review, it's on Freevee and Tubi. Go watch it. It's an hour and 15 minutes. Please do yourself a favor and just go in blind. Watch that fucking scene. Watch the whole movie.
It might help a lot to have some liquor in you.
I do recommend that too, but
because God,
just go in fucking raw, and I guarantee it will not disappoint. Now, for those of you who have watched the movie or don't care, we're going to get into our review. And it's going to be a short one because it's only an hour and 15 minutes. And not a ton happens in this movie. I mean, a ton happens, but it doesn't have a thick plot.
I have a question for you.
Sure.
Oh, there's something thick in this. Don't worry.
Very thick.
I have a question for you, Will. Have you ever seen the movie Alien?
I have not. What is it, a small indie movie?
Yeah, it was a little indie film.
Yeah, a little indie film.
No biggie.
By indie director Ridley Scott.
Wasn't a...
Just a small, tiny director.
Wasn't the biggest... one of the biggest sci-fi films of the decade.
No, what are you talking about? I've never heard of it. No, Aliens is a fucking... Aliens is literally one of my favorite movies.
Anyone who knows anything about this movie...
And I fucking love Alien, so...
Anyone who knows anything about this movie knows that this movie is an extremely unsubtle alien wannabe.
You know, I was talking about it. It's like those like memes. It's kind of an old meme. It's like a dead meme now, but
We're bringing it back to life. Don't worry.
where they're like, "Hey, can I copy your paper? Yeah, just don't make it look too much like mine."
Cool. And then
Cool. And then you get this, and it's literally just a fucking like just so much of a fucking Alien ripoff. It's absurd.
like I mean, if I can keep my brain together, I'll try to mention as we go through this all the blatant similarities.
Well, they even got some of the shots because like the camera work, the editing is something to behold.
The editing is new.
The editing is like
new and unique.
I don't know who they gave the reins
brain
to.
melting.
But our dude likes quick edits,
especially in the beginning and end.
Like just cut, like just rapid fire quick cuts. Yeah, like you said, especially in the first like 10 minutes of the movie,
and then the ending,
and then the ending
breaks.
They also do that thing in Alien where they like have the long like hallway shot where they're like shooting the actor like from like kind of like a lower angle and like walking back, and it's showing like the angled like hallway like above them. It's a cool shot, but it's definitely like an Alien shot. It's not like a Forbidden World shot.
Yeah, that's the takeaway you get from this.
Yeah, well, yeah. Like it's just an Alien ripoff, but
takeaway.
Holy fuck! Yeah, the takeaway.
We'll
talk about set design in a minute, which is why we mentioned takeaway.
So, this thing starts with a spaceship going through space, and there's a
child in a robot that
is a child.
It's a baby stormtrooper.
And it's not just that. It's not just baby because it's a child in a costume. It's also child because it's a child doing the voice.
It has a child's voice. And so the robot goes into like a cryo chamber and wakes this guy up. Well, starts to wake this guy up, and
he starts getting like rapid fire.
Well, for no reason, they show like scenes from what's going to happen in the movie,
especially nudity.
Well, okay, so any normal movie, and trust me when I say Forbidden World is not a normal movie. Any normal movie would be like, okay, so maybe this is actually the end, and he's remembering all the stuff that happened.
That was your theory, and I knew you were wrong.
Well, you would think that.
No.
Why would he be seeing what's going to happen in the future?
Because this movie is made by a troglodyte.
Well, it's like that stupid thing. Now it decredits like one of the scenes where that's actually happening, where like a character is thinking about like something while like searching. We'll get into it, but when the guy gets horny, like for like no like little context, when the guy gets horny, it like decredits that scene because like is he actually thinking about? I mean, clearly he's thinking about that.
He had
like,
sex on the brain. Don't worry about it.
Yeah, but like. I don't know. I don't get it. Like the editing is all over the fucking place.
It's not for you to get. It's not for you to get, sir.
I guess so. Anyway, the guy wakes up, and then we get a space battle. You don't actually get to see why they're fighting or like who he's fighting because it just shows the spaceship. And
I mean, there might have been some exposition, but we were too busy laughing. But
he's this crack shot pilot.
Yeah. He's supposed to be going home.
Goes around, everywhere. And he's going to the planet Exarbia.
Well, no. This is, sir, how dare you forget this? This is the alien similarities. Because he's going home.
Oh,
he's in
right.
cryosleep and gets waken up because he either gets woken up because they're attacked or because they get a like distress signal ordering them to go to planet Exarbia. The alien similarity is because in Alien it's the same thing. They're all asleep, and then the ship wakes them up and tells them, "Hey, there's a distress signal on the planet LV-426, I believe." Because this movie's totally original.
Yeah, it doesn't rip off any other movies at all.
But that's why he gets. But that's why they go there is because they're supposed to be going home, and they're like, "Sorry, vacation's canceled. You got to go to this planet because they need you because only you can do the thing."
Yeah, so this guy goes to Exarbia and just goes to one station on the whole planet.
I'm assuming it's the only station. I don't.
Yeah, I don't know.
Matter.
I don't know. It doesn't. It doesn't matter.
It really doesn't matter. But he goes there, lands, and immediately he is met by a
doctor or like a scientist. I don't know what he is. Yeah. Oh yeah, the woman. Yeah, right.
Or
she's like
I think she's a scientist.
I think she's like they're all kind of scientists. Except for it's different from Alien because they're not all like miners. Okay, they're not all like
how original
like
space miners.
Yeah, space miners,
space truckers.
Yeah, well, yeah, essentially. But in this one,
they're scientists.
It's different because they're scientists in this one.
And they get there and there's just like a room that has like it would have had all these like animals, but they're all like torn to shreds. And he's like, "What happened?" And then they point to this thing, and it's like a spider cocoon thing, and that's our
Here we go.
What was?
Here's another
dingle poop.
Popper, Dingle Thimer. The stupid pilot of the fucking ship.
No, it's the security guy who calls it
like
a dingle hopper or something.
Dingle hopper. But but its real name, totally not like Aliens. You know how in they have xenomorphs. We have metamorphs.
And totally unlike Aliens, see, the alien thing comes from an egg. This thing is genetically engineered, but it comes from a cocoon. You see? And so it's like sitting in like a enclosure. I guess after slaughtering every animal in the facility, it somehow goes back into like a glass.
Well, it went back into like an incubation chamber. So like it ate a bunch of fucking animals, crawled back into its chamber, and just is chilling there.
Yeah, and like, I mean, there's some stuff about like, what is this? Like, what are you doing? And they're researching like food sources because apparently in the quote unquote lore of the film, there is a galactic food crisis.
Well, and this like organism can grow things at a rapid rate.
Yeah. Yeah, it's fine.
Yeah, unlike another movie where it mutates at an incredible rate. Wonder what that movie could be. I have no idea. It couldn't possibly be another great movie. No,
that only came out a couple of years before.
This is totally original.
And then they're just like, okay, whatever, and they go to have dinner.
Well, they leave a guy, to
clean up
the animals. That this thing fucking murdered.
And to keep watch on the spider cocoon.
Too bad they left the dumbest fucking guy on the entire ship.
Well, because he's like cleaning it, and then he like opens the
chamber
and like looks at it. It's like pulsating, and then he gets like a phone call or something. He walks away, leaves it open, and the thing like pops out a little. Looks like a jellyfish, and it crawls up the glass.
When he like goes back to look at it, and it fucking attaches itself to his face.
Where have you seen?
Haven't seen this at all. It attaches itself to his face, and then wraps a coil around its neck, around his neck, and like burns.
But no one sees this.
See, this is original because it burns his skin.
Yeah, and it ends up turning him to jelly.
Yeah, but which I actually like. For some reason, that effect was really good, but that's about it.
This movie alternates between having good effects and having just no
idea what the fuck they're
no
doing.
Effects, yeah, plastic.
It really like it's a wild swing too. Like that's why I say like watch this movie. It's a fucking wild swing between like really awesome, like really grotesque. Awesome effects and some of the worst effects I've ever seen in a B movie.
Yeah, this is also by this time you'll notice that oh my god, anybody who's ever gotten takeout, like you ever gotten Chinese food?
Yeah.
Or any Asian food, you get those takeout boxes. They have like the big compartment for your entree, and then you have the two little side compartments for your side dishes, right?
Listen, it looks futuristic, okay?
Yeah, sure. They plastered hundreds of these.
Yeah.
All over the walls, and you thought they also used egg carton?
Egg cartons, there was like grates and shit. Like they just used whatever they could find. But
the takeaway boxes are funny because see, we watched the movie in pristine HD.
Yeah.
And when you watch the film in pristine 1080p HD, you can see the holes.
Yeah. Listen, you get a peek behind the curtain because
you see how the sausage is made.
Yeah, like it looks bad. Like,
oh my god,
it's just blatantly like you can see the fucking like the inserts where you put the tabs into.
Yeah.
Like they didn't even bother cutting those off
or like filling them in.
Well, and like, okay, so it's funny because the hallways all have like the 3 compartment ones, and then the fucking scientists' like laboratory has the big compartments
where it's just it's just one.
Yeah,
like one big entree.
And then everywhere you see like egg cartons, and then you also see, there was one more, but I can't remember. I'm blanking on what the one I saw. But I know there's like another like size of takeaway box they use.
It's adorable.
They tried, well, barely, because like they didn't even cut off the tabs, which is I thought was a weird choice, but
yeah, you think you'd at least cut those off or like fill them in so you can't see the holes.
Well, and then it's funny because the ones in the laboratory have like a weird like ribbing texture on the bottom, and it's just like in full display, like. It's very apparent what they are.
A choice
was made. Yeah,
a real choice was made there. Yeah, and
I get it. Like you can kind of tell in Alien, like that they used like shit like that, but
not really though.
Well,
there's no fish and chips takeaway boxes.
No, well. No, they didn't use takeaway boxes.
And if they did use that, they at least like painted it.
But like Alien, like they did. I mean, obviously, it looks a million times better. But it's like supposed to be like way in the future, and it's still like these like older.
Oh yeah, it's 1979.
Like, yeah,
but that's the charm of Alien, though. Is that it looks lived in like a space truck.
Yeah.
Obviously, this is supposed
to.
No,
obviously, I'm not saying Alien did it wrong. I'm just saying like Alien did it right. That's like because you can't tell. It's like just like recycled shit.
Because this is like
this is
space.
This is blatant, full on display. Just didn't give a fuck about the set. Just used fucking takeaway boxes.
We needed something to add texture to the set,
which is fine. But maybe like
try
paint them like they burned a couple of the bottoms, so it looks like electrical burning and stuff like that. But like it does not look.
There's
good.
Like one scene where someone's running around and they like spray painted the takeaway boxes red for that one scene, and then the rest of the scene they just don't bother. But yeah, while the guy's getting his face nommed, they're all eating dinner.
They're all eating dinner. No one gives a shit.
Okay, here's what's funny. The dinner.
They're eating strawberry shortcake.
That's a bold statement. Well, that's what they call it. But they are eating little tiny slices of white bread that they are drenching in like strawberry jam.
I know.
And it's like you remember those dinner
futuristic space food.
You remember those dinner scenes in Alien where the food actually looked, not like something you'd eat. Yeah, well, whatever. That's fine.
Well, but you're also forgetting the fact that they're using giant acrylic fucking square, like rectangles with little like they cut off like the fucking end of a trowel, like a gardening trowel off of and jammed it into and then duct taped it to the end of it.
Oh, Jesus.
It looks so bad. Like all the like accoutrement, like it looks so bad.
All the little details.
It's not.
Yeah, while they're eating their white bread drenched in jam, they send one of the other scientist lady or whatever to grab the janitor man, and she goes there and she
finds the body, alerts the alarm. They all go check on him.
And they find him, and it's like there's just a big chunk of his face like missing.
Well, and then like the scientist. Well, I should mention the scientist keeps coughing too. You don't know why, but he smokes a lot too.
Yeah.
So yeah. So he like checks his pulse and everything and checks his vitals, and I guess he's still alive.
Still alive, and you can see him breathing.
So they take him into the laboratory so the scientist can like kind of.
And he just kind of leaves him there.
Yeah.
And in the meantime, everyone just kind of goes to bed.
Except for 2 people.
Well, our guy is going to bed, and the woman that was like getting all hot and bothered in the beginning is like, she fucking comes out in like a robe and is like, I heard you're the best troubleshooter in the galaxy. Like, want to do some troubleshooting or some blatant.
Yeah, just some flirtatious bullshit.
And they go in her room and they start getting it on while this guy who's like a glorified security guard.
I love this scene because they do like they're playing like the groovy like sex music, but then this guy is pulling on this like toy.
This is probably my favorite scene in the movie.
It's like it's not my favorite.
I know what your favorite is. Don't worry about it.
So he's pulling at one of those string toys that when you like pull it tight, it like spins and lights up and makes a noise. But every time he does it, it makes that like noise.
But yeah, they go in there and they start getting it on, and it starts playing like this space porn jazz.
But they play the toy noise over it.
But they keep playing the toy noise over it, and it's weird because it starts to like blend in and go with the music. And then one of the other guys is like playing a space saxophone, and we get a space saxophone solo, and they keep like editing it to like the guy like playing with his toy, like getting all hot and bothered watching her getting on with this dude.
I love well, and we should say like the guy's playing like the space saxophone, but like it's not like matching up with what's going on like the soundtrack. It's not the same solo they're playing.
No.
I should mention that.
How do you know what solo he's playing? Well, it's a space saxophone.
Oh, it could be, I guess.
Got you.
It looks like a bunch of fucking like tubes glued together, but
it's a clear tube with like 3 holes on the bottom, because you gotta change keys. But it's probably my favorite scene, just because it's so weird and so
like I said, not my favorite, not at all, not in the slightest. You know what my favorite is,
unfortunately.
So
but this ends, and then we get like, I still don't get the point of this scene. They just forgot. They forgot because they were too busy snorting cocaine and thinking of boobs. Because the security guard sees like an alarm or whatever, and he goes and like looks and like gets his little toy gun that they like just plastered tubes on it, and he goes looking for something.
Well, and like all the time, it's like intercutting them like still having sex.
And at first, the first time that happened, I was like, did they make a mistake? Because it was like, it was a shot of like her on top of the guy, and it's so quick. It reminded me of that scene in Fight Club where he talks about like inserting the porno clips into kids' movies.
Yeah,
it was like that. It was so quick.
They do that a couple times, and it's so weird. This is why I mentioned in the beginning of the movie, because when he's like woken up out of cryo sleep, he thinks about like what's going on.
He thinks about it as he's getting woken up.
But what's weird is like he doesn't know. He doesn't know shit is gonna happen. So
no.
The editing is just so weird. Like there's no like rhyme or reason to it.
Here's the thing. With this, you think it's going somewhere because it starts showing that, and then it like the cuts.
Well, you think he's gonna like, and it does it. Actually, it's funny because he does something that literally doesn't go anywhere.
That's what I meant.
Like
it goes nowhere.
It's a giant plot hole, actually.
No, that's what I was talking about. It goes nowhere because earlier they talked about how they had another member there named Annie, and she died, but no one's saying how she died or what happened.
Well, they didn't even mention she was actually like a person. Really, they said it was another animal, right?
No, they said person.
I thought they said animal, but. Okay, yeah.
Because
no, I mean you might be right. I just
yeah,
didn't
no,
remember.
They do mention it was a person, and because they kind of give a little more exposition about how like they made this thing by splicing like DNA and stuff.
Yeah,
they bring up Annie, And then if you have even a half a brain cell in your head, you know where this is going.
Well, yeah, I mean, obviously they're
Splicing
doing
DNA.
human experiments.
There's a person
yeah.
dead. What happened?
Scientists are fucking around with shit they shouldn't be fucking around with. It's a classic trope.
Classic. But yeah, he the guy's walking around and he goes to Annie's locker. He opens it and he takes out like a space bracelet, and he then puts it into the outfit of the woman who's having sex with our wannabe Han Solo man. And you think, like, because it keeps cutting to them fucking, and you think, like, he's, like, jealous or something. Because when he opens the locker, her locker, there's a picture of him and her together.
Yeah.
So you think, like, oh, maybe they had something going on. You know, he's jealous. They broke up. Whatever.
Now, if you think this is going anywhere,
no,
it's not.
Because
I will squash that right now. Nothing happens from this. Well, I mean, except for what's going to happen right now.
I'll explain it to you, Will. This is very meticulous. Because he goes in the room and gets killed by the power of bad editing.
Yeah.
And then as he's getting killed through the power of bad editing and them drenching the lens in Vaseline.
Yeah, it's Monster Vision, but Vaseline.
As he's getting killed, it keeps cutting to them having sex.
Yeah, I don't.
Like, you know, see.
At that point, I don't.
See, they are fucking, and now he is getting fucked.
Like a certain other movie that fucks.
Alien does fuck.
It does fuck. Hard.
Yeah. Unlike another movie. Actually.
Yeah, exactly.
But yeah, and then he dies. And then it's the next day. And then the other woman wakes up. Also, we forgot. I forgot a very important scene.
I'm surprised I'm saying this, but like, you know, there was a purpose for Alien being as horny as it was, but
Alien was horny in like a horror way.
Yeah, well, that was the whole point, right?
Yeah.
This is just horny in a horny way.
It's just horny because it's made by lizards.
Yeah.
Like that's it. It's just because we forgot to mention there was a scene before this where the other woman is going to bed, and of course she takes off all of her clothes, and and there's this. They film it from like up in the ceiling of her room, and then as she takes off her clothes, it starts like dripping goo down the lens.
So the monster fucking
and
jizzed.
I made the obvious joke that the monster jizzed.
Yep.
Because what else do you want me to get from that? But it's the next morning. You know, I'll wake up, and now this woman wakes up, puts on the Blade sunglasses.
Yep, she puts on her fucking Blade sunglasses
and goes to the sauna, and gets again completely naked.
Well, then the guy comes in, like our main dude, and
immediately is like, "Oh, you're beautiful."
Well, and then she's like all into it, and then starts like wanting to have sex with him.
Oh my god! She says like something like, she says some
she said, well, like, I took off all my clothes. It's only fair.
It's just like no, yeah. She says like, "Fair is fair. Let's get naked."
Yeah. No, fair is fair. Get naked.
Yeah.
Because she's already naked.
Because the reason is that the reason he's there is because he was warning her to watch out because they lost sight of the alien.
And she is super into that.
And she's like, "Thank you for protecting me.
Let's
get naked."
That gets her fucking dick hard.
And they're like,
or I should say his dick hard, but like that gets her fucking dripping.
They get interrupted, and they run out.
Well, and then they get interrupted by the fucking other woman that he literally had sex with the night before.
No, they get interrupted by the alien.
Oh, you're right. Yeah, sorry.
Because it drops down from the ceiling, and now it's like a spider it's like a weird spider thing with the xenomorph face.
Except it's not a xenomorph face. It's like if you fucking like. It's like if you took a xenomorph and like fused it with Pac-Man. Like
I was gonna say if you took a xenomorph and stung it with bees, like or Pac-Man.
It looked like when they show its face, it reminded me of like a Pac-Man with teeth.
Yeah.
Like a black Pac-Man with like teeth.
Yeah, she thick, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah, they run out of there and immediately like my favorite bit of this scene though was when they're like talking to them. because there's like everyone there, and then one of the guys is like standing there. He just starts like cackling because he like looks at them together and he knows what's coming. He knows what's coming because the other woman's like, "What are you doing? What were you two doing?" It's like, ooh, jealousy goes nowhere. Whatever.
Oh no, she says like something like, "Oh, he loves explaining his scars."
Yeah, because he has scars.
Yeah, exactly. So like that's what she says as like a vicious like dig.
Because he got into a fight once on planet blah, 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 and after this they I don't even know what the hell the point of all this is, because like they tell the girl to go and track the thing on a computer, and they all get dressed up in their best Star Wars Sand People cosplays. They go out on a desert planet and they find like a rock face, and there's a big thing hanging there, a big cocoon now.
Mm-hmm.
And also, I forgot, when he got to this planet originally,
the robot
the robot almost cock blocked him.
So you turn it off.
But at this thing, he turns it on because the robot, is better because it doesn't need air until it gets blasted.
Well, they all blast it like stormtroopers. They keep missing it, and then it finally falls off the cliff.
It ricochets or something and smacks the robot. Yeah, then it falls and is on fire. And then they run back to the base. And then one of the guys sees the thing, and it's sitting on a grate, like a fucking spider. And it just jumps into a fucking grate. And then the guy looks in the grate, and it just noms him.
Yeah, the scientist guy.
And yeah.
And so they go back in, and they start looking for this thing, because they gotta kill it now.
No, it gets back in, and they're talking to the woman who's watching it.
We should also mention the scientist is kind of experimenting on that one guy that was dead, the fucking janitor guy. And
as all this is happening,
he's like jelly.
He's slowly getting turned into gelatin.
He's like a gelatinous skeleton, and this is where the good special effects come in, because it looks really good, and it's all like fucking like pussing and like bubbling and gurgling.
You see like parts of his like skin and stuff like peeling off, and then like the body splits into pieces.
Yeah.
And then they after the thing eats the guy and drops in the grate, he calls the woman and he's like, "Can you track it? Like, where does this grate lead?" And she's
like, "Oh, it's in this corner." And he's like, "That's the control room." And then it like breaks
through the glass, and they run away. And there's a part where they see it on the camera, and it just goes in the fucking lab and starts knopping on the jelly.
Mm-hmm.
So stupid.
Just starts like,
It's so fucking stupid.
Awa.
So fucking dumb.
And then it finally like makes its home in the control room.
Yeah, it just.
And so the two women go in there and see if they can like maybe like bargain with it.
Well, yeah, there's a whole
like
thing where like
with
one of the women is like, "I think we should talk to it," and then the guy just dismisses it. And then there's a scene later after the scientist comes back, and now he's like half dissolved, and then the like guy with like who's coughing all the time explains that they basically like spliced the human DNA and whatever this thing was together, and then they.
Well, remember, he's also trying to like inject himself with it because who knows?
What happens.
Well, I mean, we know why now, but like, there's a reason he's doing it.
But what he explains is that they crossed the two DNAs, and then they basically ended up impregnating Annie, and then the thing hatched, he gave birth, and it killed her. Gave birth like another movie.
Well, and they're explaining all this, and the fucking like the older doctor guy sneaks behind a fucking like aquarium, and it looks all fucking weird and awkward.
They explain it after he does that.
Yeah,
because they have the whole exposition scene while he's like laying there, like.
Well, he attacks one of the women,
like a fish out of water,
and they get him off, and like they like just like subdue him,
and then they give us the exposition. Then we have more exposition. There's a part where. Because see, the woman decides that she's gonna talk to the alien, and then we get a scene of the two women together, and one of them is rubbing the other one's back.
I love this because they're all like, it looks like they're sweaty, but
I didn't get it at first.
Like I see,
we didn't get it at first, but
I put it together.
Well, it's like they say, you didn't notice it, but your brain did.
Yeah, because like there's this yellow light that keeps going on.
It
the
looks
back.
like if you ever used Windows Media Player, remember those cool like visualizers you can
like a
use?
yellow like spray effect.
And it comes in every like 3 seconds.
And I'm like,
at first we're like, why are they naked?
And I'm like, wait a minute, are they supposed to be in the shower?
And then we're like, wait, yeah, she's using a towel on her back. They're in a shower.
It's
shower.
the stupidest fucking exposition shower scene I've ever seen.
Yeah, it's just basically saying, let's talk to the alien.
That's basically what they decide, and they go to the control room, and they try and communicate with this fucking thing, and like it's just fucking chilling on top of the fucking like control panel.
And it starts like it turns on the computer, and starts typing and talking to it, and then eventually he's like, "What do you want?"
Oh, I love when it's not like affirmative. What do you want?
She's like, can we talk? What is it you need? And then it
says like can we
hold.
It says can we she types can we coexist?
Yeah.
And then this fucking like tentacle comes down and
you know what's going to happen.
Great, here's the hentai scene. And then it goes down and you're like, all right, cool.
And it explodes out of her back. It penetrates her so hard.
There's something for everyone, even the weebs.
Yeah, this is like OG,
Yeah.
This is ahead of its time. But yeah, it penetrates her so hard it explodes out of her back.
The
other
dies.
one runs back, tells them they run and they look and they see that now it's a cocoon again and it's ingested. Oh my fucking god. And they all have guns now. Whoever is alive.
Yeah, they're like, we can't blast it. It's like it's taking over the life support like shit. And
then there's like something happens, like there's a short and the guy's like, I gotta fix it.
Oh my god.
And so this is already like to start with, this is dumb because it's a giant spider cocoon.
Welcome to the scene that almost killed Alex.
And he crawls under it and like stands behind it, so it's like literally an inch from his head, and starts messing around. And the other guy's like, "Get out of there!"
When then he puts on his fucking blade glasses.
Puts on his blade.
And he's
sunglasses.
like, "I'm gonna fix." He doesn't say that, but like you can tell he's like determined to fix this thing.
He lays
down. He like undoes a panel and lays down.
And like takes his space screwdriver and starts just tinkering.
And I love this because like there's a fucking like perfect like branch over him of this like cocoon, and all of a sudden he's tinkering, and I
just pick it. I just can't imagine.
God.
You just think about what they pictured in their brains and their fucking
They're like,
lizard
this
brains.
is gonna be so fucking cool.
Because you see, Alien had the acid blood, right?
Yeah.
So they had to do it.
But this is electrical piss. So
it's just
because it looks like it's like fucking like lifting its leg, and it's like
a dog.
It's like does this like yellowish discharge and electrocute to the guy to death. But it looks
you just see it discharge.
Oh my god!
Piss all over his legs, like
just
his
his
legs.
You
like see this dude,
and it's just like it's shorting, and he's just like making this like frustrated face
with these stupid sunglasses, and they're all like, "No!" And fucking Sam's.
Good lord.
He just gets electrocuted.
Oh my fucking god!
Off.
Like I've never seen a piss death, but that's. I mean, I guess there's a first for everything.
Oh my god!
The dude got electrocuted to death by piss.
He did, and you just picture like they thought that it would be equivalent to the acid blood in Alien, but sorry, bro.
They legit thought that was
Bro, they thought that was it.
Yeah.
Because it's like it doesn't melt him. It's just piss. It just pees on him like a fucking dog.
Like, it's not. Yeah, it doesn't like disintegrate any of his clothes or anything. He's just dead because he got electrocuted by piss. What a way to go!
Oh my god! And then the scientist figures out that because what he does is he takes the thing of like the gelatin, and he injects his cancer blood into it, and it like disintegrates.
Oh yeah.
It.
By the way, he has cancer. The robot figures it out. He
Yeah.
turns off the robot, and then he tells the main guy, he's like, you need to like feed this thing my cancer.
Take my tumor, my cancerous tumor, and feed it to this thing because it'll kill it. So
the thing like bursts.
Oh my god!
Fucking giant alien, like pitch black fucking Pac-Man comes in.
Now it's in final form, so it's like walking around, and yeah, bursts in. The guy's like, he's had the fucking tumor ripped out of him, and now he's dead, and it fucking annihilates Sam the robot.
Oh yeah, just like fucking severs him at the fucking like the hip and just fucking just slams him into a fucking wall like he's fucking tissue paper like fucking nothing. That robot did jack shit. And it stabs it in the eye at first, but like that doesn't do anything. I love our hero too because he takes this fucking like tumor stone. And instead of like feeding it at first to the alien, he starts like bludgeoning the fucking alien with this goddamn cancer stone.
And it like knocks him down, and then he gets up again, and we get this super exciting scene of just this dude wrestling with a puppet, and eventually we get the teeth Pac-Man vision. Remember? And it shoves the tumor in its mouth, and the thing pukes.
And then like pus starts like going all everywhere, and then both the other organisms, I guess, die too.
Yeah, the thing dies, and then the guy's like hugging the woman. It's just him and her left alive.
And then we get a picture show
of everything that we saw.
But not just any picture show. The most ADD ass fucking picture show I've ever seen in my fucking life. Like, there should be an epilepsy warning for this entire fucking movie. Like, there is so much fucking, like, flashing lights and fucking quick edits, and it just fucking assaults you with these fucking, like, scenes that you've already fucking seen. And not to mention
it's only 70 minutes long.
Yeah, hour and 17 minutes long. It's not the fucking, like...
It's not Lawrence of Arabia.
We didn't fucking forget what happened in the movie. Our attention spans are a little longer than that.
Yeah, it's like the movie just breaks, and then like it does like this shot of the room, and then they roll the credits. Forbidden World.
Yeah, that's Forbidden World. I mean, hilarious, but also what the fuck.
You mentioned ADD. This whole movie has ADD. It's only 78 minutes long, and it can barely contain itself.
I know.
Like
I know.
It literally starts with a clip show.
Yeah.
And ends with a clip show.
But it's like so fucking like quick cut to fucking quick edit, like just bullshit.
Yeah, like what? And it's like it's not like it pads out the runtime.
No.
I don't know.
I don't understand it, but I did have fun with this movie. I'm not gonna lie. Is it edited poorly? Oh my god, yes.
Does this movie make? Is this the stupidest goddamn plot
I've seen in a long time? Fucking dumb.
Yeah.
It's like fucking
This is unspeakably dumb.
It's aliens. It's Alien for troglodytes. Like
yeah, it literally is.
Like, it's like if you have a caveman brain and want to watch Alien and not like take anything away from it, watch Forbidden World.
Yeah, no, it's like it's funny because like watching movies like this, you really think about like the kind of intelligence and craft that goes into making something like Alien. Because you watch this and you're just like, oh, right.
It could have been so different.
You can make this because it's so stupid.
Like a fucking guy gets pissed on and dies in this movie. That doesn't happen in intelligent movies. I'm sorry.
I'm sorry.
That does not happen in well-crafted movies.
Yeah, it really doesn't. Like, I'm sorry, but like, you think about that scene in Alien where when the guy's looking for the cat and the alien like drops behind him. Because the scene where the fucking security guard dies as he's thinking of her getting deep dicked. I'm just thinking of that scene. It's set up almost the same.
Yeah.
Where he walks into like a dark room and like the thing like pounces on him. But it's like you take that scene and you compare it to that scene in Alien where the thing slowly drops behind him and you see like the head like barely lit up and it's like dripping and then it like looks
I'm surprised they
him.
didn't have a scene of like the fucking face right next to one of the actors.
No, because it's so stupid.
Yeah.
It looks like garbage.
It's just brain dead alien. That's what
And
Forbidden
it's just like
World
funny
is.
because like Alien is just a dude in a costume.
Yeah.
And it's like it's funny because if you watch the behind the scenes of Alien, the full shots of the costume look horrible.
Yeah. That's why they lit it like they did.
Because it's made by people who have a fucking functioning brain, they knew how to make it.
Are you telling me that fucking giant spider Pac-Man doesn't look good?
No. I'm sorry, but the scene in the bright daylight desert made me want to cry.
Where it's just sitting on top of the fucking grate.
Like that is a movie sin. Like you know fucking like
Or when it's sitting on top of the control panel while the fucking synth music plays.
the control panel is better because it's at least like dark. But the part where it's bright daylight, and the dude just runs up to this stupid thing on the grate. I wanted to cry. It looks so bad. It's so stupid.
Yeah, Forbidden World is literally just brain dead fucking garbage alien. That's literally what it is.
There's not even like a setup. The dude lands on a planet, meets a horny woman, immediately walks into a fucking room where there's just carnage, and then there's like, oh, the thing is in there. Let's have dinner.
Yeah, that's it.
Like no suspense, no build up, nothing.
That's it.
Like I know it's only 78 minutes, but my fucking god.
We've seen
my God.
movies that are 78 minutes around that time that have stuff going on and suspense where you want to know the ending. I didn't care a fucking single point about the ending of this movie.
No,
because I knew it'd be fucking stupid as fuck.
Because everything in this movie I've seen better in other movies.
Now that being said, was it entertaining?
Yes.
Abso-fucking-lutely. Would I recommend it? No. I can't in good conscience say that this is a good movie at all.
If you have 2 beers and possibly a friend to lose your mind with, I would recommend this, but I cannot imagine watching this thing sober.
It's worth it for the piss scene. I'm just going to say that.
Even then I don't even know. I
don't know if I'd watch it by myself, to be honest. I think honestly, I probably would have watched.
Here's the thing. I would probably. I could sit through this by myself, because I will say it's not boring.
Well, I probably would have watched that space battle and been like, "I'm good."
Nah, I would have wanted to know more. Because see, you go in this movie, you're like, "Oh, it's horror, right?" And then it starts with a fucking pew 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 battle, and you're just like, "Oh, And then, but it's fine. Just fast forward 5 minutes, and there's just blood and tits.
Yeah, that's okay. What it is. Shitty to pretty. I am literally the quality is out the fucking window.
I mean, shitty to pretty. If we're talking entertainment, I would give this I'd say a 7.
Yeah. I was gonna say a 6 just because it's fucking stupid as fuck.
It is stupid, and
and it's blatantly ripping off Alien.
The Alien ripoff. I mean, listen, entertainment, whatever. It's just the stupid. People say, leave your brain at the door. Well, sometimes if you leave your brain at the door too long, it'll start to rot.
Mm-hmm.
And
this is brain rot.
This is brain rot. I think this movie, if you watch it, you can feel yourself dying mentally.
Yeah, I'd agree. Yeah, I'd say a 6, 7, whatever, but I wouldn't go much more than that.
No, I cannot. I cannot in any good conscience put this higher because the stupid just sometimes overcomes
But like, holy shit, dude.
the piss.
The piss death scene. Just see if you can find it on YouTube. Or watch the movie. It's only an hour and 17 minutes.
It's literally
like,
yeah.
Trust me. Well, I don't know if you're as fucking. I guess at this point we're fucking brain dead as shit. But at this point our fucking brains are just fucked.
At this point, we are the brain.
So maybe you won't enjoy it. I don't know. Maybe it just was funny to us because we've watched so many fucking of the so much bullshit that we just like.
I mean,
gotten used to it.
Here's the thing, Will. Here's the thing I will say. This is not debatable. You cannot debate this. This is objectively factual. This is much better than Rattlers.
Absolutely. So, thank you whoever suggested this because, wow.
Thank you whoever
suggested this. It was an improvement over Rattlers.
Yeah, and
although that is a very low fucking bar.
Well, I will also say thank you whoever suggested this because you almost killed me.
Mm-hmm.
I don't even know why. I
don't know why it broke us. I think it was just at the perfect point where we were just like so. Like, it's such a fucking dumb movie that when that happens...
Well, plus it's like, because you think about, number one, you think about how they thought that scene looked.
Yeah.
Number two, the stupid fucking glasses.
There's so much stuff that goes into that scene, right? There's so much buildup. There's so much, like, ingredients that make that scene so fucking hilarious, and they thought it was so fucking cool.
Yeah, it's the stupid glasses he puts on. It's because in your brain you can't help but compare that scene to Alien, and then like the fact that scene happens 10 minutes before the end of the fucking movie, you're just thinking to yourself like, this is how we're like ending it. Okay.
Yeah, it's go watch Forbidden World if you want to. It's on Freevee. That's where we watched it. You can find that on Prime.
You can also get it on
you can watch it on Tubi too. It does have ads. I guess you could do purchase options. I would not suggest that. I am very glad I didn't pay money to see this movie.
Baby.
But anyway, go watch it. Yeah, tell us what you thought about it. Like, tell us if you saw that like piss scene.
Please, yeah.
I would love to hear from people who actually watched it and like that scene in particular. Like,
I think that's.
I need fucking.
You need to be heard.
Yeah, I need to be heard, and I need to be understood.
I get it. I also.
Please tell me you feel like that is as hilarious as we thought it was, because I don't want to be the only one.
I want to be the only. Psychopath.
Like, we don't want to be the only like sociopaths that think that fucking shit is funny.
They lost their mind.
Yeah, like I think at that point we've legitimately lost our fucking mind.
I think this movie broke something inside me.
Yeah, I think it did. I mean, it literally almost killed you. So, but anyway, I think that's all I got.
That's it. We got
a Christmas episode for you next time.
This Sunday, fingers crossed.
Yep.
But either way, you will have a Christmas.
We'll make it work. That's going to be probably our last episode for the year.
I would assume.
Going on a little break. Not too long, just for the holidays. But we'll be back at it in January. So just know that next episode will be our last for the rest of the year.
Most likely, yes.
Most likely. So, yeah, look forward to like more episodes in the new year. And yeah, we for They Mostly Come Out at Night. This has been Will.
This has been Alex.
We will talk to you all later.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
That is our takeaway, Will.
Piss take.
Piss takeaway.
Piss takeaway. Piss.
Holy shit. Piss.